Well, the 4th of July fireworks are a tradition long enjoyed by Americans. Fireworks, however, can prove to be dangerous if we're not careful. In a brand new report from the U.S. Consumer Product Safety Commission, they say that 8 people died and almost 9,700 had to go to the emergency room from fire-related injuries just last year alone. So to brush you up on how we can stay safe this year, I'm going to be talking with Chief Medical Officer for the City of Houston, Dr. David Persse, and he joins us right now live. And doctor, can you tell me, first of all, who is most likely to get injured in a fireworks accident?
Yeah, good morning, Bill. And you're right. So the Consumer Product Safety Commission did a very good report, and it's very timely. It was just done last year. So the age group that had the highest number of injuries, maybe not too much of a surprise. This was young teens between 15 and 19. They were the #1 group to get injured. What is a surprise, the #2 age group were children between 5 and 9. And I think we really need to be asking ourselves the questions like, why were kids that age, in such close proximity to the fireworks or using the fireworks that they got injured? And as you pointed out, hundreds and hundreds of emergency department injury, people that go to the emergency department. There were about 800 of those injuries were from firecrackers, but another 700 were from sparklers. And I think a lot of us think that, well, sparklers, they can't hurt anybody. You see the little kids running around the backyard with them. You can't get hurt with sparklers. 700 kids had to go to the hospital emergency departments last year for sparkler injuries alone.
That's just unbelievable. What advice do you have for people to try and have their celebration but stay safe at the same time? What is your advice in handling fireworks?
Yeah, thanks. Great question. And some of this is sort of intuitive, right? So we always say have an adult present. I want to drill down on that. You need to have a competent, attentive adult present, not just somebody who's over the age of 18, okay? Somebody who's paying attention, somebody who's read the label and following the directions, somebody who's watching who's got which fireworks and what they're doing with them. And again, remember, those sparklers, they are not innocuous, right? That hot part of it, 2,000 degrees on the sparkler. So you can melt metal with that. So, a competent, attentive adult. Sorry, if you had a couple adult beverages, you're probably not the one who needs to be overseeing the fireworks. And then a couple of other things to do. You should have a garden hose or a bucket of water handy. And here's the thing. Sometimes we've all had this where the firework doesn't go off as planned. Well, don't go playing with it to try to figure out how to get it to go off, because guess what? That's when it goes off, right? So if it doesn't work, pour water on it, forget it. You lost a couple pennies, big deal, right? That's far better than standing over it, having it launch into your chest, something like that.
Now, David, you're so right, and I personally know how dangerous this can be. A good friend of mine who's a weatherman in Detroit actually had lost one of his eyes. He lost his eye because a firework went off, hit him square in the eyeball, and he's now blind in that one eye. They had to remove it, in fact, surgically. Tell us what people need to know if there is a serious injury. Something happens right before your eyes with the fireworks. What should we do to try to protect and help that person best we can?
Yeah, this is another great question. And so generally these injuries are from one of two things. It's either from the explosive effect of the firework, right? And for example, the situation you described where your friend got a projectile into the eye, right? So sometimes you need to control bleeding. Sometimes you need to control burning. And that's, again, why you need to have water there. So you can put the water on the hot part that's burning someone, or control the bleeding, or if there's a impaled object, let's say it's a bottle rocket, and heaven forbid it gets launched into somebody's eye. Don't take it out. You need to pack it in place, leave it there. You'll do more damage pulling it out. When you bring them to the hospital, we know how to get those things out without causing more damage. Pack it in place and call 911. Our firefighters, our EMTs, our paramedics, they know how to handle these things. Call 911. You don't need to throw them in the back of your car and race off to the hospital and get into a wreck on the way. There's people know how to handle this. If you've got problems with the fireworks themselves, you can also call the Houston Police Department's non-emergency line at 713-884-3131.
Doctor, thank you very much. Just one last question. What would you suggest to families as an alternative to lighting off fireworks in their celebration on the 4th of July? Do you have any other ideas people should take up?
Yeah, we have this wonderful event every year, the Freedom Over Texas fireworks. It's spectacular. It is safe. It is a great family event to go to. There's concerts. There's all kinds of things to do. That's a great way to celebrate the 4th safely.
Hey, I agree with you. And the show that they put on right here in Houston is fantastic. So I'd much rather see that than, I don't know, my uncle or my, some relative of mine trying to amateur their way through the fireworks thing.
Yeah. The last thing you want to see on 4th of July is somebody dressed like me.
Yeah, beautiful. Dr. David Persse, thank you so much, David, for joining us.